Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm talking about the Cartel Elements series by Asia Monet. I love each book in this series. There are 3 in total. The first 2 books are already available on Kindle Unlimited, and the third book comes out on September 27th. I was lucky to have an arc of it, so I am going to talk about all 3 of the books in the series. This is going to be spoiler free. I do want you to go ahead and read them. Highly recommend if you're a fan of cartel and mafia romances like I am. Before jumping into the first book, I do want to note some content warnings that are pretty relevant throughout the entire series, including death of a parent. Their mother passed away when she was young. They were all present when it happened, so that is something that is talked about a lot by each of the siblings, as well as typical mafia trigger warnings for murder, violence, and torture. So starting with the first book, Heir of Flames, we are following Adrian and Kiara. Kiara just opened her dream restaurant. This is what she's always wanted. She's so happy that it's finally happening. However, she did not know that the previous owner of the building was in debt to the cartel. So when Adrian comes to collect, he sees her and he's like, I don't want your money, I want you. So he does stalk her. He is possessive and protective, and it is forced proximity because of their arrangement. He just literally forces her to spend time with him all the time. He also obviously falls first, which I enjoyed watching. This is the one that I rated 4.5 stars, and the only reason that I didn't give it higher is because I strongly dislike miscommunication or lack of communication, and even upon reread I still felt the same way about a particular chunk of the book. So even though I rated it a 4.5, it's still an honorary 5-star. I love it. I reread it. I will reread it again, and I had a really good time with it. For this one, I also want to note that there is an attempted assault. Actually, there's one in each of the books now that I'm thinking of it. And then for this book in particular, there's also abandonment, kidnapping, physical abuse, and body shaming. Next is the Arias of Roses. In this one, we're following Adrian's twin sister Lexi and her arranged marriage to Dante, who is their older brother's ex-best friend. They were best friends for a really long time, starting in high school, and then Dante actually betrayed him. You can imagine the fallout that happens after that. However, there is a new cartel, if you want to call them that is sort of moving in on their territory, and so they decide to band together in order to fight against this other cartel. So obviously this one is arranged marriage and sort of brother's best friend, but ex-best friend. Still very interesting. What I love about this one is Lexi is a badass cartel princess. She knows that as a woman, people might look down on her, but she doesn't really give a fuck and she will still whoop your ass. Dante is very much a class clown. He's always joking, he's always laughing. He's probably gonna say things intentionally to piss you off, but at the same time, he is also don't fuck with my wife. This one is more of a slow burn because both of them are kind of just like, this is just business. Obviously it's not just business, but you know, you gotta pretend you don't know that at first. For content warnings in this one, again, an attempted assault, as well as drug use, self-harm and suicidal ideation from a side character, death of a parent that happens on page, and there is mention of human trafficking due to that rival cartel that I mentioned. This one I rated 5 stars, loved it, had a good time with it. Lexi is one of my all-time favorite female characters. Don't love Dante as much because I find him very annoying, but it was still a really fun time. And the last book is King of Ice. In this one, we're following the oldest Ruiz sibling, Javier, who ends up in a marriage of convenience with his assistant, Brielle. So this one is workplace romance, single mom, grumpy sunshine, marriage of convenience. Brielle has a past that she is trying to outrun. However, things are catching up with her, and so she needs protection from an ex of hers who is involved in that cartel that I mentioned before. And so when Javier realizes why she is afraid, he's like, okay, I can give you protection. I can protect you and your daughter if you marry me. Brielle has a 6-year-old daughter named Chloe, and I'm not usually one for kids in romances. I usually don't really care too much about it. However, the first interaction between Javier and Chloe was so cute. I was like, oh, I'm sold. This is gonna be great. I love it so much. It's really cute. Javier also has a cat, Bagheera. My only complaint is that I feel like we did not get enough scenes with Bagheera, but that's just my personal opinion. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it. Content warnings for this one do include, again, an attempted essay, kidnapping. There is mention of previous suicidal ideation and self-harm, and again, human trafficking because of that other cartel that they're facing off against. This one I rated 4.75 stars. Loved it. Can't wait for my physical copy to come. Again, nothing in this series I rated lower than a 4.5, and even that was literally just because of that one trope that I really dislike. Overall, had a great time with it. I really love it. The author is so sweet. She's on TikTok and on Instagram, and I originally interacted with her through TikTok. I got arcs of the second and third book, and it's just been a really fun ride. I'm so excited to see what she writes next. But let me know if you have read any of the books in the Cartel Elements series, or if they are on your TBR. Hopefully they are. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.